welcome back to another episode of Custom Class. Now, first of all, I do want to mention that I do apologise for not uploading this sooner, because it has been a whole month, 1 month since I've uploaded the previous episode of Custom Class, which is quite ridiculous. Now, I do want to make this video as a kind of a mark to make a promise that this will be coming every single week. I want to make a promise to you guys and to myself that I'll do this every single week, because it feels like I've been neglecting the series just a little bit, which I don't want to do because I'm very proud of it. I'm very, very happy to do it. It's very, very enjoyable. Now, of course, the next thing is if you have a setup or a loadout or a custom class that you'd like to feature on this series in next week's episode, please do post it in the comment section below. That would be greatly appreciated. The only thing I would say is if we can kind of stay away from the sniper class, because it's not so much that I don't want the sniper class to be featured, I do, it's just that I haven't really focused on that class all too much. So if you do want to have a sniper loadout, then please do choose from the first 3 or so snipers, which would be amazing. Now, nonetheless, with that said, today's episode is all about the, well, M16A4. Now, before the firing squad arrives, I better tell you about this setup. We have the US holographic sight with a laser pointer and the heavy barrel. Of course, not forgetting the suggested vertical grip, which unfortunately I couldn't comply with. The only thing is I put on the ergo grip because that's the only thing I had, or the closest representation to the vertical grip. Why I couldn't use the vertical grip is because it's unlocked via a battle pack, and it took me this long to unlock all these attachments you're seeing on this weapon. So to try and get a battle pack, and of course it could be the first one, it could be the last one, nobody knows, so it could have taken me even longer. So I do apologise for that, but the sidearm is the M9, which I do adore. It's absolutely incredible. We have the med kit, the defibs, and I thought I'd put a snazzy desert camo on a winter map. Now, this weapon it's fairly good. It wasn't like it was in Battlefield 3, because as we know in Battlefield 3, if you chose the A3 version, for example, it was an absolute monster. It destroyed people, close quarter combat, medium, and long range. But of course they did have in Battlefield 3 the A4 version, which, as we know, was still a burst fire weapon. Nobody really favoured it because it was burst fire, and it just wasn't as effective. You couldn't kill people as quickly as you could with the A3 in close quarter combat, neither at medium range or long range. So why use it? But in Battlefield 4 we don't have the A3 version, we only have the A4, of course. A4 still being a burst fire weapon, but you can kill people in close quarter combat, medium range, perfectly fine, of course, depending on how you actually use this weapon and what attachments. Now, I do mention how you use it because, for example, on PC, I found that clicking the mouse to burst fire works quite well, but you do have to time it because it seems like the weapon gets jammed or stuck for some reason. Of course, that could just be me. I'm not using the highest tech mouse, but it seems to get stuck on certain bursts, so maybe you're firing 1, 2 in quick succession, maybe the 3rd or 4th one may not fire as quickly. Don't really know what's up with that, but on console it seemed to work quite well because you can press the trigger, release it, and by the time you've done that, you've got the next repercussion of a burst, which worked very well. Now, overall, it's lost the long range aspect, which I found quite frequent on most weapons in Battlefield 4. I don't really know why DICE have nerfed these weapons. Of course, it could just be me. I may not be using them quite correctly, but it seems like most of the weapons in Battlefield 4 have lost that long range aspect, which, with the maps getting bigger, makes no sense. Okay, so this weapon isn't exactly the same as it was in Battlefield 3. They've done a lot of changes to the power, the accuracy, the recoil. For example, the first shot or first burst recoil is the highest on this weapon, so you do have to expect that, especially at close quarter combat, because that can be your downfall. So the first shot or the first burst is the highest, then it becomes very, very controllable. Just the accuracy depletes over a certain amount of time, which I don't really like, especially with a heavy barrel, and at long range combat that isn't very good. So overall, that is pretty much it. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time.